Hi, thank you for joining us on The Last Remark. I am Rebecca Kahak. I am the Ree in The Last Remark.
And I am Marcus Jewett. I am the Mark for the last remark. And today is Mother's Day. So a very, very special day. And I would like to personally wish every single mother out there watching or listening a happy Mother's Day. You guys are the glue that holds the family together.
Yes, we are.
You guys are the rock that hold it down. So we definitely want to thank all the mothers out there. And I'm blessed today to be on this podcast with three amazing mothers myself. Yeah. So yeah,
All
thanks.
right. Thank you, Marcus. So today we have Yvette and Marisol. And why don't you girls just take a quick moment and introduce us to you and your company?
Okay, so I am Marisol Gavin, and I am a BODi partner, formerly known as Beachbody Coaches. So now we've transitioned from coaches to partners. So yeah, I've been doing it for about 3 years.
Wonderful.
And I am Yvette Hooker, and I'm also a BODi partner. I've been doing it for just a little bit less, about 2.5 years. Just really love the consistency that it has created in my life in many ways. So I'm happy to share with you guys today.
Yeah, awesome. And I've, full transparency, I've been knowing these young ladies for probably 13, 14 years, possibly even 15. And I have watched you do amazing things, but we're going to get into that here in a few moments. But as we do with every single episode, we're going to kick things off with our kitchen table talk. So Rebecca, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first? And we're going to dedicate this episode to Mother's Day and our fondest memory of our mother.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and take it. So my mom, Stella Morales, badass from the beginning, man. She was, just pure hell on wheels. That woman had all of the courage, and just nothing ever stopped her. And I have 1,000 really, really fun memories of my mom. But I would say probably my favorite memories was making tamales with her every Christmas. And, it was just such a big a family thing that she just loved getting everybody together and just having that camaraderie. And then, of course, we would sell the tamales, and then that's how we would actually have, Christmas presents. And so, that was just a real special time for me. So that's one of my favorite memories of old Stella.
Well, my mom is no longer with us. I lost her a little over 10 years ago. Rebecca, again, I know you've lost your mother as well. And man, I don't know. My mother was one of a kind. She was definitely the life of the party. She was the candle in the shade. Like that was who she was. So the proverbial apple didn't fall far from the tree in that regard. I think everyone on this podcast knows me pretty well. But one of the things I really enjoyed or just remember about my mother was just her love for music and her love for dancing. And I remember like most Friday nights, it's like Friday night, just got paid. So yeah, remember that song? So she would come home on Friday nights, and I remember, if for whatever reason, she always loved like country bars. So she put on those Wrangler jeans, those cowboy boots, and she had on a little shirt with the pearl snaps. I don't know. Don't tell me how that happened. But I remember she'd have her music going, and she'd come out, come on, baby, let's dance in the Friday night, just got paid. And I love that about her. She loved karaoke. She loved Zydeco music. And I think that's where my love of music originated. I mean, my mother was a disciplinarian. She taught me so many different values in terms of just order and cleanliness and how to treat people. And I don't have her with me today, and that's difficult. Mother's Day, her birthday, those are always difficult days for me. But, I still try to live out my life honoring her memory and trying to live my life through the principles and the values that she bestowed upon me. So rest in peace, Mom. I love you. I miss you. And yeah. Hey, Marisol, Yvette, we typically do kitchen table talk on our own, but we'd love to bring you into that part of or that bit for the last remark. So do you ladies have a fond memory or just something about your mother that you want to share with the audience?
Sure. Well, our mom is 82 years old. She'll be
Wow.
83 next Saturday, and we're actually her caregivers. So
Okay.
she has end-stage renal disease, so we do
Mm.
peritoneal dialysis for her, and she has a little bit of dementia. So a lot of times people are like, "You're so lucky to still have your mom," and we absolutely are. But
Yeah.
we kind
Hmm.
of already mourn our mom. Like we mourn the mom that used to
Yeah.
be able to walk,
Yeah.
the mom that used to be able to, cook us dinner or things like that. But
Hmm.
and all that to say, my mom is an incredibly strong woman. Our dad passed when we were 3 years old. She was left
Oh,
three sons, and then my sister and I, and she just made it happen. So
yeah.
I would say my fondest memories are my sister and her and myself sitting at on one side of her lap because we always sat on her. And just the peace and comfort that she brought and the foundation she laid with the
Yeah.
Lord. So,
That's
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, my mom just has the sweetest personality that I wish I was more like her in that sense, that
Hmm.
nothing phases her. I mean,
Mm.
it doesn't matter if the house is dirty, like that is not going to stress her out. She just,
Yeah.
everything just rolls off of her. And I love that about her. So
Oh man. She
Yeah.
sounds like a Proverbs 31 woman to me.
caring for her is definitely helping us grow in patience.
Yeah.
And how long have you been caring for her? Share that with
Going
the
on
audience.
4 years.
4 years. Awesome.
2019 was
Okay.
when.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
this predates the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys and I want to get into the main topic here in a second, but I guess just kind of understanding that you said you both care for your mother. Is it you guys care for her at a centralized location, or is it more of a she stays with one of you or both of you? How does that work?
So we live 10 minutes apart from each other. So she actually stays with me 2 weeks at a time. We trade off on Thursday evenings. So then she'll stay with my sister for 2 weeks. And
Wow.
honestly, I got to shout out all the caregivers out there because I don't
Yeah.
know how you do it if you're full time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for us having each other, I don't know how we would do it. So very thankful for that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What I'm sorry, Rebecca, were you about
No,
to make
no. I
a
mean,
comment?
it's just, I know at the tail end of my mom's life, we had like essentially like the last 6 months where we walked into that year, and I remember telling my sister in January that I didn't think she would make it through the end of the year, and that was in 21. I didn't think she would live the whole year. I thought the end was coming was going to be near, and it was. And I just remembered like there were so many little things that happened that made it possible for and I'm the youngest of six, but it was mostly my sister and I that were there at the end. And I just remember like God just clearing our calendars on the right days. Like things would just happen, and I just knew God's hand was in all of it. That we had a really, really nice the last 2 months of her life. We were there every single day. My sister actually moved in with mom for that time frame, and so we were there every single day. And I'm just grateful that we had that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely been, I mean, she's gradually declined since
Mm.
the time that we've had her. So
Yeah.
she went from being able to completely walk on her own, toilet herself, shower herself, to where now, we're doing those things for her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
this is where BODi has played a huge role in my life, because I mean, I can share a little bit later, but
You know what, we can get into it right now. Yeah, let's go. Tell us about BODi. Tell us because you mentioned at the beginning that it was BODi Beach on
Beachbody.
Demand, Beachbody on
Beach.
Demand,
Mhm.
and now it's BODi. So walk us through BODi.
go ahead, I'll let you.
So Beachbody on Demand, I mean, I used to do DVDs back in the day, like
Mhm.
2015. And then in 2019, my coach found me on Instagram. I think I went skiing, and she lives in Denver, Colorado, and somehow hashtags we met. And so she just asked me if I wanted to do a program with her, and I said yes. It's now on an app, and that's how I got started. And for a whole year, she was like, "You're already sharing like your sweaty selfies. You're sharing what you're eating. Like, do you want to be a coach?" And that name of coach just kind of frightened me so much that for a whole year I was like, oh, no, 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 not me. I cannot do that.
Okay, so let's unpack that for a second. What about being a coach was scary to you initially?
I think just having the thought of me having to coach people and people looking to me for answers, I guess I would say.
Okay.
But in a sense, like we all coach someone, right? We coach our children, we coach our spouses, we coach
Exactly.
coworkers. You know, we're already coaches. So now I see it in a different light, for sure.
Okay. Love it. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So she asked you to be a coach. You sat on it for a year.
Yes. And so I believe 2020, when the pandemic hit, is when I thought, okay, fine, I'll do it. I have no idea what this means, but I will do it.
Yeah.
And I started joining like the weekly Zoom calls and all of that. And that's when my mom was like, okay, she's going to have to go on dialysis. And so it's like you said, like God kind of just works everything out for the greater good, because I could no longer go to a gym. Like I just can't, because she needs care 24/7. I work full time. We both work full time. So working out at home was just so convenient. It's still so convenient. And I think with BODi and the reason that they transitioned from Beachbody to BODi is because I think everybody had this idea of a Beachbody has to be like flat abs. You have to have the perfect body. And we wanted to do away with that. So it's more about health esteem.
Got it. Got it.
So I think that's what really sets BODi apart from other platforms.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you both mentioned that you work full time. You're giving care to your mother. Like I heard your journey, Marisol. Yvette, you talked about like your mother's her set of circumstances kind of played a role into you really diving into this process or into BODi. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit more?
Sure. So, so first of all, I mean, I really wasn't like, I didn't have this big aha moment where I was like, she was asking me to join and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm doing free Instagram videos. And we all know, like, if you do a workout from YouTube, like your phone goes off after a second. So you have to keep opening and it's like, okay, what am I going to do today? Spend 30 minutes trying to find a workout. And, you know, I'd done all the Orange Theory, the, you know, regular gym. And that was expensive. I was in a phase of life where I'm like, okay, I want to be debt free. I want to cut out things that I don't necessarily have to have. And so for a long time, I told her no. But then when I decided to do a program, it was like to start and finish a program and to see the results, not only in your body and your strength, but your mindset is what keeps me coming back. And yes, of course, the convenience of doing it at home, that keeps me consistent. My son gets to watch me be consistent. And to me, like, I don't necessarily see what he really thinks about that right now, but I know it's creating something in him, you know?
Right.
And
yes.
And it inspires my husband to work out as well.
Yes.
What I want to say is that when my mom first came with us, I just felt like she's kind of the alpha of us. She's 21 minutes older than me.
And she's never let you forget it.
Oh yeah, she took that 21 minutes and ran.
I compare her a lot to my grandmother because she was like the woman who held our family together. And I feel like that about my sister. So when my mom first came, I just thought, I cannot do one more thing in my life. Like I cannot take care of her. And at first I was just kind of letting her do more and just being like, well, I have a child at home and you don't, so you get to do it more. Because it was just a fear.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I was going through a lot of anxiety and depression, and it just felt so overwhelming. So that is the part where BODi has, I believe God placed this tool in my life to better me. And do I still have moments of, oh my God, mom's coming home? Yes, I do. But I handle it so much better. I believe in myself. Wow. I do not have to succumb to that overwhelming feeling of like, what am I going to do? I can't do this.
Yeah.
BODi has challenged me in so many ways. As far as running it as a business, I'm not there yet. And that's okay. And that's what I love about this business. I'm not looking to maybe be a 5-star coach like my sister is. I love my registered nurse case manager job that I do, but this keeps me accountable. Yes, I earn a little bit of extra income for my family. And when I retire, like, I'm still going to be doing this. And whoever
Hmm.
I've inspired along the way
Wow.
is going to help me have residual income when I'm retired. So
Yeah.
that's what I
That's
love
good.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you hit on a couple of really important things. I think one of the things that I heard that I wanted to call out is that you mentioned, how your son gets to watch you. And I think it's so important that people understand that um, people are watching everywhere you go. And you may not know, you may never know, you may never see it, but you can genuinely impact people just by doing everyday things, something as simple as an online app workout, and you can be inspiring people you had no idea that you were inspiring. So I love that. I think another thing that you mentioned was you completed a program, and so I wanted to dive into that just a little bit more. So walk us through what a program is. Is it a time commitment? Is it like do you get you from one level to the next level? What does a program entail?
So we have super trainers, right? So that's another awesome thing. Like I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a trainer, and I don't have to come up with anything like that for my clients. It's already laid out. So
Okay.
before BODi, the style was okay, we're going to create a 6-week program based on lifting, or we're going to create a cardio program or mix and match. But it was anywhere between 21 days to 8 weeks. Now with the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said okay.
Oh, now with the new platform, we have BODi blocks. So what that means is that every month a new BODi block is launched. So it's a super trainer that creates workouts for 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day. And on the 4th week, it's called Up Week, which means unconditional progress. So now they're saying, hey, you know what? It's really good for you to rest.
Oh,
So
interesting.
take this week to rest. And that doesn't mean don't move at all. Go outside, go for a walk, do a cycle, but give your body some rest. And I don't know about y'all, but at 40, almost 43, my body needs rest.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I just love how they've created that for everyone.
But
Well,
to
that,
answer your question, Rebecca, real quick, like, you push play when it's convenient for you.
Yeah.
But to know that nationwide other people are starting the same program, and you try to stay, you can print out the calendar and it's telling you where you're at. To know that there's so many other people doing the same thing it's inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Show up every day.
Yeah, I think that's my next question, right? You just laid out your life, right? Your professional life, your body coaches, your wives, your mothers. You have a lot going on, and I imagine that a lot of people who really genuinely want to get into this process, they have a lot going on in their lives as well. Like, how do you keep your clients or the people that are on your team, how do you keep them motivated on those days or those periods of times or those stretches where they just feel like, oh my God, I got so much going on? How do I dedicate even an hour a week towards this? Like, how do you keep everyone motivated and engaged?
So I think that's the creative part that you have to kind of figure out along the way. And you don't figure it out right away as a partner, as a coach. It takes time to figure out what works for people. But honestly, just keeping it real. Keeping it real, me sharing bits and pieces of my life that, you know what, I got struggles going on. I know a lot of other people may have even more struggles than I do, but you know what? You can do this, girl. You got 30 minutes a day. If I can do it, so can you. And a lot of times people just want to know you care. So I've honestly just started building genuine relationships with people in the DMs. That's where the work happens.
Yeah.
It's not really in the stories. It's in the DMs. People want to know that you genuinely care about them and that you're a real
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
that screen. So,
Yeah. I'm hearing connection and I'm hearing community, and I love that. I love that. I think that's a lot of people need that, especially because I think oftentimes people view taking care of your health as a nice to have and not a need to have. So it often is one of the first thing that gets tossed out when you get squeezed. And Yeah.
Yes.
I love to hear that you focus on how to keep people motivated and, uh, continue to prioritize, your health.
It
So
definitely helps to stay accountable because there's days where you're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but there's people depending on me to show up in my group, so I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm just
no,
gonna say,
no, no. This is your time. Tell me,
in the
inform.
moment where you're caring for somebody, like, let's keep it real, okay? You're smelling stuff you don't want to smell. You're dealing with bodily fluids like that. It's like you have a child, but they're grown up. You're taking on their emotions a lot of times. And the message that I want to send to people is that you don't have to let yourself go just because there's going to be so many people caring for their parents.
yeah,
And this makes it convenient and doable.
Yeah.
Like you can still take care of yourself
Yeah.
while doing all of this.
Yeah. And also, like I'm somebody who travels and this is, I travel for work. So this is also something that you can take on the road with you. It's not like you're confined to one spot like you are, at a local gym or something.
and that's a great point because people will be like, "Well, I'm traveling next week," or that's okay. You can still
Totally.
press play in the hotel room.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
it doesn't require you to always have like free weights or equipment with you. Are there just like certain programs where you can just use your own body weight and to get through different courses or classes?
Good question. So every single program has a modifier that you can follow. And
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of times the modifiers, they're not using weights, they're just using their body weight. And
Okay.
honestly, God created us to move our body without
Yeah.
weight. Like back in the jungle days, there was no weights. People use
Yeah.
their body weight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So when I think about what used to be Beachbody on Demand, you're right. Like just the branding of it was okay. You need to be like 6-pack abs and the big pecs and the big
Yeah.
arms and 20-inch biceps. Like you kind of think about that, and I think it was a smart move to really create a more welcoming brand with body. So I understand that part of it, especially from the physical perspective. But I think it's two sides of that coin. You have the physical piece of it, but then you also have the nutrition part of it as well. And if I'm not mistaken, that's another big component. So could one of you elaborate a little bit on kind of the nutrition factor of body and what role that plays and how do you promote that?
Absolutely. Do you want to show?
Okay.
So there's actually three components, right? And
Oh, okay. 3.
the total solution pack.
Okay.
Because now they've added health esteem, mental awareness. So there's little mental activities that you can do on a weekly, daily basis.
Marcus, we're going to need you not to drink that Red Bull.
What happened now?
So bad for you. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We have a violation apparently.
Oh,
Marcus is getting pulled over at the moment.
damn, I got pulled over. Let me get my nutrition ID and insurance. My bad. Dang. I'll push it over to the side a little bit. My bad.
Okay, so let me understand because I don't drink energy drinks. I'm not a caffeine junkie. I'll have green tea every now and again. But okay, so why is Red Bull bad, and or why is something better, a better option?
So you always want to look at ingredients when you're buying anything in a can or a package and how many ingredients are in there. And can you even pronounce those ingredients? So those are two key components. Red Bull has a lot of different ingredients that we can't pronounce. So
Okay, that's very helpful. Nobody's ever said to me that simply, how many ingredients and can you pronounce them? That's a very simple way to think about that.
absolutely. And then I'll let you talk about Energize because that's our go-to.
Yeah. So we call it our hustle juice. That's what we call it in this body world. One of the trainers, Amwala Caesar, that's what he called it. So we all call it hustle juice.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, like, I have given up coffee because coffee's great, but it makes you feel dehydrated.
Okay.
So we have something called Energize. It has 3 ingredients: beta-alanine, quercetin, and 100 milligrams of caffeine from a green tea or coffee bean. And it literally just gives you, I mean,
It sharpens your focus.
It helps sharpen your focus, and it literally feels that way. Like you drink it and you're like, ideas start flowing, and it's not like that jittery like Red Bull type thing.
Okay.
All right.
I'm getting dissed over here, but yeah, you're not the only one too. I have an aunt that every time she sees me with a Red Bull in my hand, she snatches it out of my hand and empties it and throws it in the trash can. And she's done that like at least 6 times in the last 2 years.
Thank God for the aunties.
Yeah, I know, right? Subbing in for the mothers
too.
Yeah.
Marcus, do you drink Monsters?
Occasionally, but that's kind of one of the things I'm trying to weigh myself off. I mean, hell, that's one of the reasons why we have you. I'm trying to use this time to learn so I can take better care of myself, because I think I do a pretty good job on the physical side of it, but some of the stuff that I put in my body, I don't think I'm optimizing. So that's where I'm trying to take this time, not only for you to share your story, but I'm trying to learn for myself. What can I learn?
And we actually give my mom the Energize. We mix it with something called Hydrate, another healthy form of like a Gatorade. And it honestly kind of helps sharpen her mind. Like, we just notice she's just a little bit more with it when we give it to her. So
yeah.
So my morning cocktail is Energize, Hydrate, and collagen.
Wow.
That's what I drink every morning.
And like for individuals, like, so I'm assuming if you become a member, you can order these products, have them delivered to your house. You can take these in conjunction with doing the various fitness programs. Is that kind of like, those are the 2 pillars, but I think you mentioned the 3rd pillar, and you said that's like is that the physical health? How did you state it?
So the total solution pack is the mental health, your nutrition program. So you take an assessment when you're signed up. And based on how you answer the questions, it's either going to lead you to a program called Portion Fix or a program called To Be Mindset. I've done both of them. To Be Mindset's a little bit more flexible. They're just showing you how to plate your food, right? They're showing you what fiber-filled carbohydrates are. They're showing you that at dinner you should only have protein and veggies. That's it. When you're going to bed, your body does not need energy, so you should not have carbohydrates before bed.
Okay.
So those little things are what teaches you. She even teaches you how to go to the grocery store and shop on the outer layers of the shopping center. So little things like that people don't really realize, and that it's so simple, and we just make it a little bit more difficult than what it is. So we have your mindset, we have your nutrition, and then of course we have your physical aspect, which is the programs of it.
Yeah. So I've noticed, again, full transparency, I've known you for quite some time, that over the last couple of years, I believe, Marisol, you've taken like these trips, right? Where you go to, like, I want to say, was it Mexico? Like, what's going on there? You get to go to like the fancy trip. And how do we get Yvette to go next time? We want to make sure both of you guys are going. What's going on with that? Walk me through that.
Yvette actually could have gone. She opted out of going. She stayed behind and took care of my mom. So
okay. Good for you.
We can't both travel together
at the same time. Okay.
So
it's easy to find a sitter for her, but not someone that can do her dialysis at night.
Okay. Gotcha.
But back to the trips. So when I signed up and started getting on the calls with all of the partners, and that's another thing, like, it just gave me purpose, right? I was turning 40. My daughter was leaving for college, and I was now a caregiver. So it was kind of like a whirlwind of things, but like, what was my purpose in life now? So it's just given me purpose. But when I saw that, you get to earn a trip, I thought, that's really not real, right? But it is. So based on the number of people that you recruit in a month, you earn Success Club points. And as the year goes by, those Success Club points turn into dollars. And so you're invited to this trip, and based on your sales, so the first year my entire trip was paid for me and my husband. We just had to cover our flights, but you just go on basically this island with a whole bunch of other body coaches. You're working out with the super trainers, you're learning. I think that this BODi has provided so much opportunity in so many areas. Like, it teaches you to think bigger than where you are, like to to just think like, you know what? I have my own business. I can literally own my own business. It doesn't take thousands of dollars to get started. I'm staying healthy doing it, and I'm helping other people do it. Like, it's a no-brainer. I don't have to invest anything. So like she said, I look at myself, I'm going to be 60 and I'm still going to be doing this. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. How do or I guess how do you manage to keep your clients motivated? Like, what are some of the things that you do specifically, that makes you the what did you call it? A super trainer, a super coach? 5-star? It was 5-star, I think.
Sure.
Okay. So what makes you 5-star? Like, what do you do specifically?
So 5-star is not just recruiting people that want to lose weight or start exercising, but recruiting people that want to build a business. So
Okay. Love it.
I'm not going to lie, it's hard to find those people.
Yeah. Are you looking for both men and women, or are you targeting specifically women?
Men and women.
Okay.
I have my husband that's on my team. But it's harder to recruit men, I think. But there are men out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really crush it. But we've got like pharmacists, we have nurse practitioners, we have physical therapists that have retired their jobs. Like they've retired their jobs, they've retired their husbands. And to see that, like, I mean, man, the sky's the limit, right?
Yeah. We have a lawyer, one of our Latina super coaches. Her name is Cristina Delgado, and it's just so inspiring to see her journey and how she gave up being a lawyer, and she's very successful in this BODi world.
Wow.
Wait. So you're telling me people, if you really, look at this as a business and you invest the time and really whatever it takes to be successful, you can earn a very substantial living doing this full time? Or is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And I have to share that maybe like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, I invested because a friend came to me and I invested in being like a rodent and fields consultant. I didn't really think that all the way through, but I will tell you, it took me a couple $1,000s to invest. I'm not really sure if I ever made that back. And looking back, like I should have done more research, but just a lot of the chemicals in those products that I didn't agree with. And so what makes me so proud to be a BODi partner is that for $199, like you can invest in your health for one whole year. And hey, if you want to help other people and make that back in a month or a couple weeks, then you've already paid for your workouts for the whole year. And so it's not something that is maybe not beneficial or healthy for people. Like it's something really good for people. So that's another thing that I really love about it.
Yeah, you don't have to invest a whole lot. But back to building a team, it takes work because people want instant results, right?
Yes.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Instant gratification.
And you cannot join this business and think that in a year you're going to be making $1 million. You just can't. You have to be in it for the long run. So you have to find something that you really love about it. Okay. And for me, it's motivating other people. It's letting I was a single mom for many, many years. Had I known about this business back then, like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have had to work 2 jobs. Your phone, like we spend so much time on our phones. Why not use it to your advantage, right? Is what I always tell people. If you're already scrolling, then you have time for this. And the way that we run the business is that every single morning, somebody that's already at the top, that's a leader, they run what's called a power hour. So for 1 hour, we're on Zoom and they're sharing, what's worked for them. But hey, let's do this for 15 minutes. Okay, now for 10 minutes, let's do this. And so in an hour, you're done. You don't have to pick up your phone again for the rest of the day. So you literally can work it in pockets of time, but you have to show up. If you don't show up, you're not going to build a business. You're not going to build credibility with people. Yeah. And so I think the stressful part can be that you can sometimes compare yourself to other people and you have to let that go because somebody might have been doing this for 10 years already. So they're going to know a little bit more than you. So you just have to let that go.
Wow. No, that's really, interesting. And again, I know you both have been doing this for several years, and the fact that you say you want to be doing this when you're 60 years old, I can just feel the passion and the dedication that I know it takes to really be successful in this game. I guess let's get to the obvious question. Like, for those that are interested in BODi or becoming a coach, or possibly interested in any of the products, or not what you call it, the energize, things like that. Like, how do you learn more about BODi? Like, what's the first step?
You just reach out to one of us. So,
All right. Well, there's going to be a video version of this on YouTube, and there's going to be audio versions on our on Spotify and Apple and a few other platforms. So give us the reels. Like, when you say follow you, how do we follow you, or how
yeah,
do we connect with you?
me on Instagram or Facebook, Marisol Gavin. My Instagram handle is at Coach Marisol.
Okay.
Share yours.
I'm not gonna brain fart. Literally, Fiercely Fit Mom is mine on Instagram, and Yvette Hooker on Facebook. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so okay, all right, awesome. So we'll make certain to impose that text onto the video version, and so I'm gonna have you say it one more time at the very end, just to make certain that anybody who's looking to write down those handles, they can capture those. But Rebecca, I know we're getting ready to kind of wrap things up. Did you have any final questions
Yeah,
for?
I do. Well, I wanted to actually offer up a suggestion.
Okay.
And that is, you talked about caring for your mom, and now you've been giving her the energy drink, and you can see that that things are connecting for her when she's got the energy drink. You mentioned, it clarifies, gives you focus.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, do you have any programs that are specific for seniors? So, like, my dad is 78, and he's kind of getting back into fitness now that he's not mom's full-time caretaker anymore, and he's kind of getting back into his own fitness. Do you have something that's specific for seniors?
Good question. We don't have like a senior super trainer, but we definitely have some programs that we could recommend.
Yeah.
We have a trainer, Amala Caesar. If you guys don't know who he is, you should look him up on Instagram.
I
But
remember him.
all about mobility.
Okay.
It's all about mobility, because
Yeah.
as we get older, we need mobility. That's what's going to keep us moving. So he has a program called 645. If your dad is interested, it is a lot of stretching before the workout, but it incorporates weightlifting, which is so good for us in our older age as
Yes.
well. So
Yes.
definitely a program for everybody.
Yeah.
And every third workout they're all 45-minute workouts. He dedicates, it's just stability and mobility, like from your ankles to your knees. He does stretches that I've never done before. And so it's a really good program. Like, back pain totally went away through that program because you were doing so much stretching before and after the workout.
Love it. Love
Totally
it.
recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And the fact you mentioned very early on in the podcast about, your son watching you do these, do these routines and eating healthy and working out. And, our kids, they watch everything we do. They may not say anything, but they watch everything we do. And when you think about generational cycles, I would have to imagine, having parents that kind of embody that spirit of trying to eat as clean as possible, or having some level of activity or physical fitness in their lives. I mean, it's just something I think they'll become part of their DNA as they get older. So it's one of the reasons I feel like I try my best to stay in shape. True story, literally 2 hours ago I went into a convenience store and I was turning the corner and I slipped and I fell, and I fell, and I fell on my knees. I caught myself with my hands. So it wasn't a total fall, but I'm sitting there thinking, at my age, I'm almost 50 years old. If I would have been completely out of shape, that could have been a major, major game changer that could have transformed. I mean, I literally fell, and I think, to Rebecca, you made the point. You only get one body, in your life. You can't. We sometimes we kind of say, oh, if there's one thing we can cut off and leave off in terms of where we put our prioritizations, whether it's work or family, etc. We tend to put that one off, but and none of those, all of those things are important, but your body, you only get one, right? And it's like anything else, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. So I think it's just really, really important. And I'm personally just inspired to continue to watch both of you grow, both of you inspire, people in your community, and just continue to build this brand. So I have to say, I'm just really, really thankful to have you guys in my circle. You have been just amazing friends, and I'm just really happy to watch it grow. I guess before we close it out, Rebecca, did you have any more questions? If not, let's see if the ladies have any closing comments.
Why don't you gals give us your last remarks?
Yeah, remember, and tell us how to find you again. Make sure we don't know what did you say? We want to make sure you got it this time, Yvette.
So at Coach Marisol on Instagram, and I just want to leave you with this: that as you get older, you really start to pay more attention to how you feel, what your body's doing. And I can only speak for myself, but I want to live to be 100, but I want to live to be a healthy 100. I don't want to be a burden to my child. I want to be able to enjoy my life here on earth, and your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and you should definitely take care of it. It's not a perfection thing. It's a progression thing. It's definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome.
One of our trainers, her name is Autumn Calabrese, and if you do one of her programs, you're going to get mentally inspired, because the girl spits out inspiration throughout the whole workout, every workout. So one thing that she said, and it really resonated with me, is that you are the life that you allow. Mm-hmm. And for me, not the physical, the mental growth in this season has been the biggest for me. My mom did not take good care of herself. Like my sister said, she lost my dad at 3. She had 3 teenage boys, 2 3-year-old toddler twin girls at age 43. She was 43. And then my brother was murdered a year later. Mishap after mishap. Looking back now, we can see that mental illness was a part in our lives that my grandmother, her mother, didn't even know how to deal with. So I am thankful to stand here and say that this tool has been put into my life to better my mindset.
Yeah.
Personal development.
Yes, and personal. So it's the biggest value that I'm walking away with from this.
That is absolutely beautiful. I think what I'm taking away from that is it's not about adding years to your life, but adding quality to your years. And I love that. And I love that. So that's my last remark, is I'm incredibly inspired by you. And I'm already going through my Rolodex of like, who needs to get in touch with you gals, and become a part of this program, because, I just think it's wonderful. So, and you and what you're doing, not just in caring for your mom, because that's huge, but again, and also how you're modeling for your family. That's beautiful. That stuff will live on for generations. So that's my last remark.
Well, I don't really have anything. Oh, it looks like you have one more point. Go ahead, Yvette.
I just, Rebecca, it's really, really nice to meet you. I love your spirit, and I'm so glad that you and Marcus are doing this. I have always felt like our brother Marcus needs to be spitting out his positivity and everything, his journey that he has been through, things he has overcome. And we're Marcus, me and Wes and Marisol and Gavin, we're just so happy to see you and your wife and what you guys have overcome and where you are today. So
thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah. It's been a crazy, it's been a crazy year.
I would love nothing more than for Marcus to outgrow me and to fly the coop on his own. I really do. I think you got it in you, man. I really do.
Hey, no. Well, we'll see what God has in store for me on that front. But right now, I'm really excited to be doing this with you and to have the opportunity to talk to you, Marisol and Yvette, about BODi. Again, make sure you follow these ladies. They've dropped their handles for you, so we'll make certain to impose them the text on the YouTube version of it. Speaking of social media platforms, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, at The Last Remark Podcast. We also have a Twitter. We're going to watch out for that one, but it's at The Last Remark 23. Rebecca's not a big Twitter person, so
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, well, we're not gonna go there right now. But listen, again, thanks everyone for tuning in. This episode will definitely be available on YouTube. We'll have it on all of the podcast audio stations, and if you're looking for some connection, find these two young ladies on Instagram or find them on Facebook, and they can get you going.
Certainly find them on BODi.
On BODi, yeah, exactly. All right.
Thank you guys again so much.
All right.
Thank you guys. Us. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. All right, there. Okay, on behalf of Rebecca, I'm Marcus Jewett. Last Remark, signing off.